welcome to this interview. So good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SGN channel. I'm Christy and I'm the owner and founder of Signature Global Network. Today, I'm very honored to introduce you a guest to our channel today, and her name is Kat. Wow, we got a lot of sound here, guys. Well, actually, bear with me, Kat. Do you mind introducing yourself to your audience? And I'm just going to turn on that. Thank you.
Yes, sounds good. Hi, I'm Katarina or Kat Attana. I'm originally from Germany, but I've lived in Australia for 15 years. I work in the logistics industry as a general manager commercial at Tasman Logistics Services. Have 3 kids. Anything else you'd like to know, Christy?
Wow. Thank you, Kat. So, Kat, I know you for a while, and I always think you are a great example for your kids, and you're always, not just working hard, but also live hard. Like, you're very happy. You always balance your time with not just working, but also with family as well. So maybe before we go into too much about work, I just want to know, how did you balance that? Like, I think there's so many people in the industry, especially they're saying working in logistics industry is like crazy. They can't, they just can't really take care of everything. So I think if you can share any tips on that before we dig deeper, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the first key is you have to love what you do, because if you love what you do, then it doesn't feel like work. And then, obviously juggling our family and work, it's important to be organized. To me, I'm really fortunate. I have a lot of help and support, but I know a lot of people are also like, I can do it all on my own. Do not try to do it all on your own. Take up the help and support that you get. I guess that's probably the secrets to juggling it all.
Wow, guys, I really think that's amazing reminder, because especially in these modern days, everybody prefers to, how to say, I can do anything by myself. And it's always focused on, yes, I'm capable. It's always I. But we forget about that. We are actually a community. And I think that's really great reminder for everyone, that especially for the logistics folks, that, you're not alone. You have many people around you, so you should find support as well. Thank you, Kat. So basically, as you're also part of our network, which we're really honored to have you guys on board. And I always know that you guys are quite special. So would you mind telling us more about, the new companies you're right now in? And probably it's not new, you're there for a while, and you're in the industry for so long. So just give us a little bit background about Tasman Logistics. And I like this, by the way. I keep looking at her. She's always wearing the company shirt. It's really, really nice jumper, and it's everything with logo. So tell us more about your company. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I absolutely love working for Tasman Logistics Services. It's a privately owned company with an amazing culture. So it's really about the people for us. And, one thing work provides is clothing, which makes it so much easier in the morning to sort that out. But there's so many other things that we do. Training, development is really big on our agenda. We're really big on safety, of all of our employees, staff, drivers and so on. We're in fast growth mode, so we've actually just acquired Ryan's Transport, and we're looking to grow further. We opened warehouses in Sydney and Brisbane since I've come on board about a year ago. I guess going back to your question before, how do you juggle it all? Well, it's amazing teamwork. So we have a lot of people cross-trained, and we try to work together as a team. And that starts from, running a tender where everyone gets together into a room and, understanding what we need, to someone is on leave, someone else will fill in, someone is really busy, someone else will support. So it's a real good teamwork environment. And we're just having lots of fun at work.
Wow. That's amazing. Guys, I think the other reason as well, not only reason, the other reason I really liked to connect with you, Kat, and also the company, because as SGN, for example, we are very selective for members on board. We're not getting everyone on board. Like I've been in this industry for so long, like you do, but we're really, really carefully selecting, and you guys are really giving us like power of energy and the unity, which is something that we are chasing. We actually is one of our core values that we want to gather all the amazing souls or amazing people in the world to be in the same big family. So that's great to hear about this. The other thing I want to ask you is about um, I know that you are doing, you just give us a little bit roughly about understanding about what you do, but do you have like anything, because every company has something that it's really strong, like it's like everyone has a unique strength.
Yeah.
So do you have something that's really really powerful that you want to share with the audience, just if they don't know about you, they ask you, hey, why should I consider Tasman Logistics rather than somebody else? And can you just give us a little bit more deep dive about that part? Thank you.
So what makes us different is we really get around obstacles. So we're very flexible, we're reliant, but we think outside the box. And there's always challenges in logistics and supply chain, and there's really nothing too difficult for our team. So may it be heavy haulage project to move something really big, long, heavy, to delivering, transit time requirements for food products, for instance. Like we just basically get the job done. And based on the culture, that's why before I was speaking so much about the culture, our teams really go the extra mile. So no one will drop their pen at 4 or 5 o'clock, but everyone at Tasman makes sure that we service our customers and we do what we committed to and get the job done. And that's really our USP. So being flexible, being agile, and getting around obstacles.
Wow, I love that. Thank you, Kat. I guess the other question is more related to all the logistics folks that, as I said, you are sharing your experience regarding how you juggle everything. But other than that, do you have any, encouragement or tips? Because we also have some new generations, right? They are actually thinking about entering this industry, and when they see those people who are saying, oh my gosh, all these funny pictures talking about logistics people are crazy, or they have high pressure, they are like doctors, or even worse than doctor, worse I mean like pressure. So what's your like encouragement for those people? Either they are struggling right now in the logistics industry, or they are still thinking, well, should I go into this industry and why? What's your thoughts and encouragement to them? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Personally, I love the logistics and supply chain industry. There's not a day that's the same as another. So it's very, very interesting. Every day is different. And I think this is probably what I love most about it. I also really enjoy the honesty of the industry. Traditionally it's quite male oriented, but we have now 26% females as well, and the number is growing. And I think the industry needs it as well, because organizational skills are
Calling
really
the females.
are really, really helpful. There is also a change going on. So there's a lot more gamification, like robotics, data, IT, AI. So there's a lot of things happening in our industry that wasn't previously there before. So we need new skill sets. In terms of balancing it, I guess what I encourage everyone to do when they come into the industry, you can't always, or you can have it all, but not all at the same time.
That's true.
So personally, I kind of went quite high in my career early on. I was in a regional role in Asia. And after that, I basically took a step back and prioritized family for the next 12 years. And, that was important to me. I still worked mostly full time, but it wasn't a high pressure role. And then once my kids, in school, I've basically moved on and moved into bigger and more interesting roles. So
Yeah.
that was my journey. Everyone has to make their own, obviously, decisions, but workplaces are also flexible these days. So it's not necessary that you have to be held back from your career. But
Very good.
yeah, it's always balancing.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice. All right, thank you, Kat. Just to conclude, I think what Kat is trying to tell us is just my understanding as well is every season is different. So she's encouraging all of you guys. You need to understand which season you're in because in logistics you can always be highly pressured. A lot of pressure there. But you need to understand also balance your life. As I think you just mentioned about when you like, for example, you're pregnant, you're expecting a baby, you're not expecting to like keep accepting all the challenging roles and get no time to spend once the baby is here, right? So just to understand when is the best season to make the wise decisions. I guess that's what Kat is suggest you guys, and I think you have been really a great example to show that to people who ever are struggling, say, should I come to the industry or not? I think if you see she's still smiling, so happy every day. And she has, like she mentioned, she has so many kids. She also has to be a still like mom and, wife and all these roles as well, except for the help from what she can get. I think it's also how she make wise choices and she understands that where she is and the season that you're in, right? So thank you so much for sharing that. The next question I have here, I have many questions by the way. So quality is one of our core values in our network, and there are so many problems nowadays that it's always about more and more and more, which is quantity. So can you share with us what's your thoughts regarding how important quality is in especially in the logistics industry? Yeah, just share with us your opinion. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I take quality in the logistics industry, it's really important because, well, if you don't set the right temperature on a truck, then the product might go off by the time it gets to DC. And obviously, no matter what else you do, that's real sad situation in that case. And there's other situations like if you work on a construction project and you're not there on time, it can cost thousands and $10,000s of dollars in delay in staff and labor who's waiting on site for that part. So quality in I guess delivering in full on time is really important in the logistics industry, but so is communication because sometimes things can happen and not everything works according to the plan. And then it's about being agile and being able to find solutions rather than saying, oh, I just can't do this.
Wow. That's good.
So I think quality is really important because it saves a lot of costs and you don't have to redo things, which ultimately, is better for all of us. So the same applies to life. We consume so much in, I guess, our daily life. And that's really not good for the environment and it's not sustainable for future generations. So in my view, in the past it took sometimes days or weeks to make something and then people really appreciate it. Now you just go to the shop, you break it, you buy something new. I think we need to find again balance, probably my favorite word, and go back to how can we make quality products that last us for a really long time without always just thinking about the commercials and replacing things. Yeah.
Thank you, Kat. Just to conclude that as well, as our network, I think the quality, not just regarding our network wise, but any members in our network, like you guys as well, just for the audience outside there, for your sake, is we really pay attention to quality, and members here, they understand how important quality is rather than quantity. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. Now the next question is, we also have the core value, which is trust. Trust is a word you can talk for the whole day. A lot of stories, I think. Do you have any stories that you want to share, like in either your life or your workplace, that because of trust you got a business, or because of distrust you lose the business? Do you have any stories? Because I think it's very important for everyone to be reminded how important trust can, how powerful that word is. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Christy. You're right. We can talk about this all day. So trust is really important, and that's that's actually where culture comes back, in play again. So if you have a culture in your business that's built on trust, everything else, can be built on top of that. While if you mistrust your employees and your staff, that's really, really demotivating. And obviously in a business environment, people still go to networking and they make a lot of decisions based on people we know or they know.
Very true.
And the reason being is because of trust.
Yeah.
What is most important to us right now, we've acquired Ryan's Transport, another business with other customers and other staff. And it's really important to us now to transfer that trust from Ryan's to Tasman. And it takes some time to build it as well, but that's the mission we're on at the moment.
Wow. So the next question I have here as well is also the core value. We pay a lot of attention to relationships built. So networking is one of the platform for people to come together and they can actually connect and have the great relationships. And I think it's applying to every business, every life experience as well. So would you mind share the Sam, regarding the relationship built, how does it help you? Can you share a little bit story about the relationships built in your career and your life? Thank you.
Absolutely. So relationships are incredibly important. And having a German background, I've always sort of gotten into business meetings when I was younger, and I was all about, okay, well, we're here for a reason. Let's get straight to the point. And I've learned with time that's not how.
No patience.
Exactly. That's not the best way to build relationships. The best way to really build relationships is actually get to know each other really well. And when you get to know each other, then you can work through challenges. And I think that's really the key. So if you have business partners, and that's why we are looking for, I guess, business partners and customers we can build long-term relationships with, because we know we can then help when there's challenges, but we can also talk about situations, really important during COVID. While if someone changes suppliers and providers every 6 months, they don't really have that opportunity, but they also don't have the opportunity for then continuous improvement into making things better for everyone. So relationships, super important. And, there's a lot of networking opportunities in industry associations to business, Australian company directors and other leadership organizations. So, I encourage everyone to go out there and do a little bit of networking.
All right. Thank you so much for answering the question regarding the relationships. And I think you're right. It's very important, not just for business, but also for life as well. And we need to find quality relationships built. And the way networking definitely is one of the best ways to connect with new people, new faces. But yeah, we still need to, like you just said, your German background, say, hey, come on, let's do business. Like, no, I'm not doing business with you. So yeah, we need a bit patience and time until you have the trust before you start something. So yeah, thank you for the core values. And the last one we have is synergies. So 1 + 1 = 3. Sometimes you started very well sharing about your journey that never do things alone. I guess that's the power of synergy. So for example, you guys are very good at what you do, but then we have one overseas partner from SGN, for example, that you work together, you just talk to each other, all in a sudden you find something, you can work together and make it bigger, more powerful than ever. So would you mind share your stories, like successful stories that based on synergies, like when you connect with someone that they have something you don't have, and all in a sudden it becomes so powerful. Thank you, Kat.
Yeah. Yes, synergies, same as partnerships, are really important. And like we're a logistics service provider, but it doesn't mean that we can't source products, for instance. So, for instance, during COVID, we partnered with some businesses in overseas as well as locally to make PPE products, and we're able to basically get them to customers fast, even though we're a logistics company. But there was a requirement, and there wasn't, I guess, a demand in the market. So we filled that demand. And it works with so many other options. We have currently the opportunity to take over an fully automated warehouse, which is not fully utilized. So we're actually looking for synergies for other product owners to go into that warehouse to fully utilize the automation, and it comes across our desk literally every day. Obviously the Signature Global Network, Christy founded, is a fantastic place for these synergies and for building relationships and find better ways to do things in the future better. So especially the Signature Global Network that Christy has founded is a great opportunity for synergies and networks, not just in Australia where we are, but across the globe as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Kat. It's an amazing pleasure to have you. I still want to ask more questions. I don't want you go. But yeah, before you head off, I know you're busy, like we're all busy nowadays. Do you have anything you want to share with the audience? The audience can be our, your clients right outside there, and also for our, network partners and members. So yeah, feel free to share. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Christy. I guess we spoke about, synergies, networks, work-life balance, relationships, and so on. Some really important takeaways for me are every time you learn something, you listen to a, interview or webinar or anything else, try to come back with 3 takeaways. So from today, just try to remember 3 things. And the same when you go to a networking event, try to make one meaningful connection. So just one.
More than that, but at least.
Well, sometimes it's better to just have that one meaningful connection than to meeting 50, 100 people, and you walk away and haven't really met anyone. So these are probably the things that I've learned in life. So 3 takeaways and one meaningful connection.
Wow. So powerful, guys. Thank you so much. I want to run applause outside there, guys. Thank you so much, Kat, for coming. And we hope to have you again another time in our channel. Thank you. Hug!